If you just got your pBrand Xbox One skin, relax. This is going to be easy. First, wipe your device free of dust and fingerprints. For optimal results, ensure you are under bright lighting. Your pBrand skin comes with three main elements: full console coverage, Connect coverage, and multiple pieces for your Xbox One controller. The main console skin is split into 6 pieces: top, bottom, front left, front right, sides, and bottom front. Note that a hairdryer is required for the controller skin. If you purchased a controller skin, pause the video now to get a hairdryer. Welcome back. Let's start with the controller. Hold the skin as shown and align around the view and menu buttons. If misaligned, grip the controller firmly and pull the skin off quickly. Once aligned perfectly around the view and menu buttons, apply pressure down the center and out to each side as shown. Next, wrap the left joystick by applying pressure around both sides, exactly as shown. Don't touch the remainder of the left side yet. Apply pressure around the X, Y, A, B buttons and D-pad as shown. Next, peel up the skin for one of the handles. Apply pressure to the inner edge, ensuring the skin is aligned properly. Repeat the process for the other handle. Finally, get your hairdryer. Briefly heat one of the sides to get the material soft. Wrap the skin outwards, starting from the center. Repeat for the upper and lower part of the handles as shown. Repeat the process for the other handle. If you find that your controller looks like this, don't worry. Carefully peel up the affected area. Heat it once more with your hairdryer. Then smooth it out. Apply the remainder of the controller skins by calling in an airstrike. Let's move on to the console skin. Below, you will find a tooltip showing where in the video you can find instructions for each piece. If you didn't purchase the full console skin, you can use the guide to skip ahead. Up first is the top piece, shown here. Remove the skin from the 3M paper and reattach as shown. Align at the front of the console using the Xbox logo as a reference. Once lined up perfectly, apply pressure to the exposed portion. Now, lift the skin. Move the 3M paper over slightly and reattach. Make slight adjustments to ensure the skin is aligned perfectly with the edge of the console. Then, apply pressure to secure it in place. You may now remove the 3M paper entirely and smooth out the remainder of the top skin. Next, let's apply the cutouts for the inside of the Xbox lettering. You can use either of the pieces shown here, since one is an extra. All you have to do is line up the 2 X's. Then, press down firmly on the space in between them. Finish by tearing the skin off quickly from the overhanging edge, and you will see that the cutouts have been applied flawlessly. The next piece to apply is shown here. It goes to the right of the vents. The 2 remaining pieces, shown here, are applied on the back angle of the console. Start by aligning at one end of the console, then line up the second piece right next to it. Let's now apply the front left skin. Begin with the thin piece shown here. Align at the left edge and carefully apply the rest piece by piece. Next is the piece that goes below it. Use the edge of the thin piece as an alignment reference. Repeat the process for the 2 pieces shown here. Apply the final piece to the angled edge on the front of the console as shown. Now let's apply the front right skin. Remove the skin from the 3M paper and reattach as shown. Align around the Xbox logo and outer edges. Once it's lined up perfectly, apply pressure to the exposed portion, remove the 3M paper, and smooth out the remainder. Apply the remaining piece along the edge of the skin you just applied. To apply the bottom front skin, just line it up and smooth it out. Let's now apply the side skins. Begin with the long piece for the right side, shown here. Start at the front of the Xbox and work your way back. Apply the short piece for the back and the long piece for the top using a similar technique. The 2 small pieces are actually 4 small pieces, as shown here. The 2 tiny pieces are applied to the angled inner edge, shown here. The other side is installed using a similar technique. Let's now apply the bottom skin. Remove the skin from the 3M paper and reattach as shown. Before applying the skin, ensure you have the orientation correct. Align around the 2 rubber feet. Once positioned correctly, apply pressure to the exposed area. Next, remove the skin from the 3M paper, shift it to one side, then reattach as shown. Align the 3rd rubber foot, then apply pressure to the exposed area. You may now remove the 3M paper entirely and smooth out the entire surface of the skin. Apply the remaining piece, shown here, on the back angled edge of the bottom of the console. Finally, let's apply the Connect skin. The first 3 pieces are pretty simple. Just apply them as shown. Next, let's apply the piece for the front of the Connect, shown here. Begin by removing the skin from the 3M paper and reattaching as shown. Using the 3M paper as a buffer between the adhesive and the Connect, simply align at the bleeding edge of the Connect's front. Once aligned perfectly, apply pressure to the exposed area. Then, remove the 3M paper entirely. The next 2 pieces, shown here, are aligned along the top angled edges. Up next is the piece for the top of the Connect, shown here. Remove the skin from the 3M paper and reattach as shown, exposing the Xbox logo. Align at the left side using the Xbox logo as a reference. Once lined up perfectly, apply pressure to the exposed portion. Now, remove the 3M paper, align the right side, and smooth out the remainder of the top skin. Next, let's apply the cutouts for the inside of the Xbox lettering. You can use either of the pieces shown here, since one is an extra. All you have to do is line up the 2 X's. Then, press down firmly on the space in between. Finish by tearing the skin off quickly from the overhanging edge. You will see that the cutouts have been applied flawlessly. The remaining skin for the back-angled edge is shown here. Finally, the side skins are installed as shown. Make sure you're using the correct one for each side. Done! If you have any questions, you know how to reach us. If you just got your pBrand PlayStation 4 console and controller skins, relax. This is going to be easy. First, wipe your device free of dust and fingerprints. For optimal results, ensure you are under bright lighting. Note that your pBrand skin comes with 2 main elements: full coverage for your console and multiple accents for your DualShock 4 controller. The console skin is split into 4 groups: top right, bottom right, and 2 identical parts for the left side. Let's begin with the top right console piece, shown here. First, remove the skin from the 3M paper and reattach as shown. Align at the right side, ensuring it is at the bleeding edge of the console. Once aligned perfectly, apply firm pressure to the exposed portion of the skin. Slide down the 3M paper as shown. Lower the skin and apply pressure to the exposed portion. Now, remove the 3M paper entirely and apply pressure to the entire surface of the skin. Next, let's align the side piece. Begin at the front of the device, using the distinct edge of the top piece as an alignment reference. Once it's lined up, apply pressure to the side skin. Finally, let's align the front piece. Begin at the right side. Use the two distinct edges created by the top and side skins as alignment references. To apply the inside of the 4, simply use magic. Once it's all in place, apply pressure to the entire surface. The same technique can be used for the top left piece. Note that both the bottom and top left pieces are identical, so it doesn't matter which you use. Continue with the side. And then finally apply the front piece. Before you flip your device over, apply both the front pieces for the bottom left and right sides. You may now carefully flip your device over. Let's now apply the bottom right piece. Carefully remove the 3M paper from the skin, then reattach as shown. The PS4 cutout should now be exposed. Align the skin around the PS4 cutout and rubber foot. Under bright lighting, you should be able to see that the PS4 cutout is perfectly positioned. Remove the 3M paper entirely and slowly lower the skin into place. Again, positioning of the 4 insert is quite simple. Just use magic. Finally, align the side piece by using the two distinct edges created by the bottom and front skins as alignment references. You're almost done. Just use the same technique as before to apply the bottom left and remaining side piece. Done. Let's move on to the controller accents. You should have received 7 pieces in total. Start with the skin that surrounds the right buttons. Hold as shown and align around the 4 button cutouts. Use the same technique around the D-pad cutouts. Do not apply pressure until fully satisfied with the fit. Next, apply the touchpad accent. Before removing from the 3M paper, make sure you know which side is top and which is bottom. Align at the bottom of the touchpad, ensuring that it is centered perfectly. Continue wrapping upwards. To answer your question, no, the skin does not affect the functionality of the touchpad at all. We promise. Next comes the analog accent. Ensure you don't mix up the left and right. Begin with the right piece. Align at the bottom center of the analog stick, using the seam on the plastic molding as a reference point. Continue wrapping around, using the inside of the circle as your guide. Use the same technique on the left side. The last step is to apply the trigger accents. The angled portion aligns with the outside of the trigger. Done. If you have any questions, you know how to reach us.